How do you keep track of all of the, I mean, you've been writing this for a long time, you've got more ahead. How do you keep track of the different characters and the different places? I mean, do you have like a huge whiteboard up, or is it a computer-based? Or?
The question is, how do I keep track of all the events and characters and so on that are going on in the books? Because there's so much happening. The answer to that is that a lot of it, I planned the framework out when I wrote the first novel in like 1996, 1997. So I've had it in mind a long time, generally where everything should be at this point, and I'm doing pretty well, sticking close to my plan. Beyond that, I use the Dresden Files wiki. Because the fans made it, and they know it better than I do. I mean, at the end of the day, even if I'd only ever written one version, at the end of the day, that's my job, but it's y'all's fun, and your fun is way more important, and you're much more knowledgeable about your fun than you are about your day-to-day. Okay, time to get to work kind of stuff. Time to make the donuts. Back here at the back.
I don't know, how long is the book series actually supposed to be? Because you're pretty good about ending it when you want to end it, like with Alera. So
Yeah, I hate it when the series just kind of keep rolling on and on. How long the book series is supposed to be originally, I had planned for about 20 case books, like the ones we've had so far, and then capped off with a big old apocalyptic trilogy at the end. But I'm a couple of books behind where I wanted to get because you know I planned it when I was an idiot, didn't really know too much about writing. So the events of book 12 were originally slated for book 10, but it's taken me a couple extra to get there. So now I'm revising it to 20, 21, 22-ish books, and then the trilogy. But I want to get it done. I want to. What did I say? Ninjas destroy him. Yes.
So Dresden makes a lot of weird references, like to the internet and stuff, but he's never actually been on the internet, and that's always like weirded me out.
He doesn't make a ton of net references.
Pop culture.
He makes pop culture references, but not a ton of internet references. Yeah, to watch TV, he sits in a park across from an electronics store that has TVs in the window with the closed caption on. I actually found the park there. I actually found the store in Chicago, too. When he goes to movies, he goes to the drive-in theater in Aurora, and he can just park the Beetle there and sit on the hood and hear everybody else's radios that are playing the soundtrack of the movie. So that's how he does movies, without having, because I mean, if you've gone to see Avatar or something like that, there would have been a crater somewhere. So much stuff involved in that. Yes.
You can say mine for the end, but could you let everybody know what the title for the next book is going to be, and if possible, could you give a brief synopsis?
Okay. Can I give you the title and the brief synopsis of the next book? And the answer is yes and no. Because any kind of synopsis is a spoiler, and I don't plan to let any of that out until we start putting sample chapters out. But I did have the title of the next book, which is called Ghost Story. I wanted to call it Dead. But they wouldn't let me. What?
Because there's supposed to be more books.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, he's a wizard.
I was just wondering if you find it easier to write from Harry's first-person perspective, or the 20 million characters that you had going in the Codex books. What is easier for you?
The question is it easier to write Harry first person or the many, many, many point of view characters in Codex Alera? The answer is it's sort of a mixed thing. When you're writing first person, it's much easier on just a moment-to-moment basis to write the first person stuff, but it can be a lot harder to make sure the reader knows about all the plot stuff that's going on, because you've only got the one place to put your camera. You get a lot better than that when you go over to multiple characters, because you have to decide how you're going to present the drama, who's going to be the best person in place to see it, and so on. So the story can all go together. I think ultimately there's more potential when you have multiple viewpoint characters, but it also you've got a lot more rope to hang yourself with as well.
You always stopped it right at the cliffhanger and then switched it.
Yeah, I do that.
Mean.
Yeah. My goal when I'm writing is to make the beta readers go, "You ended it there? That's the end of the chapter?" Because if I've done that, then I know I've done my job. And their pain makes me feel warm inside. It's like heroin for writers. Yeah.
How does one get a cadre of beta readers? I mean, does the publisher do that? Do you go find them? How do you?
Mostly, people have been in discussions on the boards, or have sent me emails, and I've noted that they've said something particularly observant or insightful, and then I will go like, oh, they've got a really great perspective on this, and I'll say, hey, would you like to be a beta reader for the book? And usually every year there's a couple people who can't do it anymore, and so I go out and find a couple more people to join in, and so I kind of got it set up that way. It sort of happened by accident at first, but let's see. Let's go over this side of the room a little bit more, because I've been mostly over here.
So I have a question on writing, actually. When you write from the first person perspective, I have trouble dealing with stuff that other people saying without making it feel clunky, so I was asking, how do you have any advice on conversations from a first person perspective?
Do I have any advice on writing conversations from a first-person perspective? You always have to be sure that, okay, when you're writing a conversation, it's like a game of ping pong. You're going like that. Now, somebody else can appear on the other end of the ping pong table, but if there's 4 people over there playing ping pong, it's going to get confused. So the way you have to do it to make sure it's just one part of keeping dialogue clear is to make sure that you don't go over the top with overly verbose language, and that you make clear exactly who's speaking, who's exchanging their thoughts through words. So there might be 4 other people in the conversation, but they have to jump in and out of the conversation, like they're jumping to be the only one at the other end of the ping pong table, and you kind of keep that same rhythm of back and forth up, which is vague and sounds kind of squirrely even to me up here, but that's kind of how I think about it. Yeah, over here on the end.
Wondering if you've given any thought to or been approached to writing any sort of side series about the Carpenters, Michael in general. Very powerful character.
Have I given any thought to writing a kind of like a side story about the Carpenters or the Knights of the Cross in general? I've considered it. I don't know. I don't know how much that appeals to me to actually write the whole thing. That's one of those characters who, I think Michael is one of those characters who is a much stronger supporting character than he would ever be a lead character. Think of it this way, okay? In the first Jurassic Park movie, Jeff Goldblum was the only one making wise-ass comments, and he was funny and likable. Second Jurassic Park movie, everybody was making the wise-ass comments, and all of a sudden, you can't make your smart-mouthed rogue the central character and have everybody else look like him. It just doesn't work as well as when you've got the stodgy, vanilla guy in the middle, and that character is unique and different, and that's what makes everybody like him. I'm not sure they would work as well as protagonists.
Good place to ask.
Yeah, but right here.
Are you ever going to write another Spider-Man book?
Am I ever going to write another Spider-Man book? Thank you.
What you did with Rhino was amazing.
The Rhino was so much fun. I wrote that just because, when the editor, Jen Heddle, who's the original editor of the Dresden Files, invited me to do Spider-Man, I'm like, I can do Spider-Man? She's like, well, yeah, I mean, if you want, I can do Spider-Man? I'm going to put the Rhino on Aunt May's couch. I said that right there at the table, and then I spent the next couple of months trying to figure out how to get the Rhino on there. Drinking tea with one pinky out, I don't know if I'll ever do any more at this point. I didn't really do it. I mean, the pay wasn't real good. I didn't really do it for the money in the first place, though. I did it for Spider-Man. But writing 3 books a year, my wife and son made me promise never to do that again. So, because they had to suffer through living with me during that time. So, yes.
I liked his question about the other characters, but the one that I was interested in was McCoy. If there could be a short story even about Blackstaff.
Could there be a short story about Ebenezer? That's another one of the projects I thought of for the future is to, I kind of wanted to cover the French and Indian War in the Dresden universe from McCoy's point of view, because this was when he was a punky young wizard, and that would be fun. because I could do all kinds of fun stuff with that. But on the other hand, I'd have to go learn about the French-Indian War. You know, that could be tough. You know, I might have to read something. You know.